going on, guys? Coach Jay from Team Hazardous. Just wanted to talk about Canelo as a fighter. We saw him fight Callum Smith, and he had an excellent showing, in my opinion. And I think that we have to acknowledge that Canelo, after the long layoff, has gotten better. Um, hard to say, right? Because he had one opponent since he came back. But I think, in my opinion, I think he's gotten better, and I think that this is not just one fight that he's gotten better. It's really a collection of all of these fights that he's had in the last 5 years or so. Ever since the Mayweather loss, I think he's just changed his game and really has become a much more complete fighter. Because when you look at it, he's not outstanding at everything. He's really good at everything, at a lot of things. But he's added wrinkles to his game, and he's really made himself so much better at handling adversity in fights than maybe he would have earlier in his career. And that's kudos to just constantly learning and put himself positioned to fight the best available. And people can argue about his resume and who he's fought and all that. I get all that. You know, I'm not going to take anything away from the guy. He has the best resume in boxing. There's no question about that right now. He has the best resume. He has the most champions. He's fought the toughest guys, that available to him. You know, listen, can't knock it. It's a sport, and we know that there's politics involved and things like that. But he's definitely put himself in position to fight who was in front of him, and he did that. So, why has he gotten better? I think he hung his hat very well on offense early in his career, but I think over time he has evolved to be able to blend the defense and offense together to still, in general, still have the same style, but be much more effective, right? Because he has a good defense, just like in any other sport, right? You play basketball, you play football. If you got a great defense, you're in a great position to win the game. Because if you got a great offense and you know how to stop the other team's offense, you're in a great spot. And I think as a boxer, that's what Canelo does. He finds a way to shut down your offense, and then he grows in confidence in his offense against you. And you see better head movement, slightly better footwork. He's not the fastest of feet, but that's because he really likes to fight in close quarters, right? He doesn't like to dance around and move around. He really is a tight quarter fighter because he likes to go to the body. So he's not trying to move away from his fighters the way, say, Mayweather would, or Muhammad Ali, like some other guys who are more fleet of foot. His intention is to get to you, right? But not take damage in the process. And I think that's a beautiful way to fight. He's in the pocket, but finding a way not to get hit, and I think that's excellent. That's the biggest change I've seen in his game that makes him so good, and has made him the pound for pound king in my opinion. So yeah, I really love to see that, and I want to see that Canelo against the best fighters right now. And so, who are my top picks for him to fight? So, number one on my list right now, stylistically, not politics, not any other, any other reason, I would say Billy Joe Saunders. I think he and Canelo have a very similar style, at this point, right? Maybe not years ago, but now that Canelo's added that defensive mindset along with that great offense, I think they're very close because Billy Joe kind of has that same style, right? He makes it hard for you to hit him, while he's trying to hit you, and I think it's very similar in a way, but still very different because Billy Joe's a southpaw. He's he's a bigger guy, so I just want to see how that will play out, you know, in the fight. So that would be my number one from just a pure boxing purist standpoint. to see those two go at it and see who comes out on top. My number two, interestingly enough, I would say would be Errol Spence. Um, that to me is a very intriguing matchup because Errol Spence is at 147, as we all know. So that's very far away from what the top of what Canelo has fought thus far, light heavyweight, right, and even super middleweight, which he just did. Um, but we all know also that Spence is known to be a bigger guy at welterweight at 147, and has known to be in between camps north of 180 pounds. Now we don't know what he looks like at 180. I'm pretty sure he's not in the greatest shape, obviously, but he's it's an intriguing matchup. Just to see his style match up against Canelo, right? Because if there was a style to beat Canelo Alvarez, it has to be a busy puncher, right? We saw a busy puncher in Amir Khan fight Canelo, and he did pretty well up until the point he got knocked out, right? And I think Spence has that same busy puncher ability, right? Um, but he's also not as reckless as Amir Khan at times. He's going to be more careful. Also has a tougher chin, so that's not going to be easy to put him away. But will size play a part in that fight? That's going to be the biggest question. Will the size difference play a role in how that plays out? So I'm interested to see that. So that's my number two pick in Spence. And my third pick, um, I would say Triple G, but we already know that two fights happened. There was a lot of controversy, so I'm not gonna go there. I would like to see him go up to light heavyweight, and maybe test the waters against some of the guys up there. I don't want him to go up to light heavyweight. I feel like if as a coach, if I'm his trainer, I don't want him to go light heavyweight. I think he tops out at 168, and he should end his career, at that as the maximum, fight weight he should ever have. He's 5'9". He's not the tallest guy. He doesn't have long reach. Nothing like that. His talent has carried him up these weight classes, and that's an excellent, admirable thing. And kudos to him for that. But I don't think light heavyweight is a great move. Now, I don't think even if he loses at light heavyweight, I wouldn't fault him for it, right? I wouldn't think that he's not a great champion still. And I think as a man, if you want to test yourself up there and you want to do it, I say go ahead and do it. But I would not. I wouldn't say that's the best move. I say try to unify at 168 and 160, and let that be your legacy. So yeah, man. Let me know what you guys think. What's your top picks for Canelo to fight in his next fight? Right, your top three guys, and let's talk about it. All right. See you on the next one. Coach J out. Peace.